Okay, we're going to look at shading this shape now. So first important thing is to remember that these edges here are not on the ground, they're actually floating. So the ground surface is up here. And we're going to have to choose a light direction. So in this case I think I'm going to, because it's a little bit on the right, I'll have the shadow coming a bit forward in this direction. So I'm going to choose the light direction going this way. And that means on this corner we're going to have a shadow. So I need to know where the ground surface is, which is in this spot is here. The light's going this way, so what I want to do is I want to actually from here I'm going to just estimate a little shadow going out this way here. For the rest it's basically just a box shape shadow with rounded edges. If I have the ground surface this edge, I can use that as well to estimate how round that rounding is going to be. So just have it going back that way and around here, something like that. A little bit higher up. Okay, so just put this as a quick little shadow. And a little mistake here I can fix up. I went over that edge too much. You can see my markers running out here, but it's only, I think we're just going to make it with that one. So, a bit of an estimation on this shadow, but I'll keep it a little bit sketchy. And just get into the form shadow. Okay, so I think I'll do it red, and that means I can use the 4 grey, which hopefully has enough marker in it. So what we want to do is remember that the roundings will catch some light. The light's coming from this direction now, and they are parts almost, well, they're kind of squashed. Each corner is kind of like a squashed ball shape, a sphere. So on the corners we're going to get something like this shadow, and then here it will go higher again. Oops, even more than that. So it's this shape and then that shape. On the bottom here maybe it comes down a bit, and so this is going to be my shadow side, and I can just try to quickly colour that in. Little broken line can sometimes help with the gradient effect here. Okay, so maybe a little bit of grey on the bottom edge there to get it a bit rounder, and maybe just a touch here as well. Okay, so now I'm going to put the colour on. So basically just going to go over this edge just a touch so I get a kind of a gradient. And then straight along here, here's the cylinder, so I need to go straight there. Then down this way, right to that edge and straight down. So that should be like this, curved, straight down, and then curved again. I'm going to try to keep the corner is going to catch light, so this rounded edge I'll leave. I won't colour in just yet, and we'll put some chalk over it in a minute. So there's my red. So here we're going to do the same kind of thing. Actually, I probably need to go a little bit further in this direction. See now? And this also. So here, this direction, straight down, and then a cylinder part, and here, well, the light's coming from here, so I'm just going to, that ball will catch a little bit more light, so that can go down just a touch. Actually, I probably should have left that open. So I'll just, that's a little bit of a mistake there. So, return the page. I'm going to try and mark it now in this direction with the perspective lines. You need to assume that you're always going to get a few streaky lines, so you want to, use them to your advantage. Make sure the lines are going in the direction you want. Okay, now I'll just put a little line there, a bit on the back here, and a bit here. This edge a bit more red, and maybe here also. I can see that's coming up a little bit more than I want, so I'll go over this again. See, it's because I changed direction, you can see there's that layer underneath, so it's better always to go in just in one direction. With your marker in. Perhaps this can come a little bit higher. And yeah, when you've got a bit more time, you can always go over your dark colour again. If it gets a little bit too dark, another coat of colour will keep the colour nice and rich. Okay, once you've got that, it's about a matter of just putting some chalk on your drawing. So I'm going to just put it straight on this time. Perhaps not the best habit, usually you should do it on another page, but well, time is of the essence, so I'm just going to do it straight on to this. So I want to put most of it here, and I want quite a bit here as well. So basically I want my gradient to go from darker, the colour at the front, and more towards a transparent tint at the back. And I just need to find this. So I'm going to just, very lightly at first, so I'm just trying to get an even gradient, an even coverage, and then with the darkest at the front. So I don't want to push too hard at first, because then I'm going to be drawing lines on my drawing. So that's not quite the gradient I want. I want it to be a bit darker there. Here at the front. And I can always try to rub it off as well with a clean part. Basically just keep in mind where the light's coming from. And okay, what we can do next is I can actually rub off some chalk and make some highlights. So here, that will actually help accentuate the shape of it as well. Here we'll have a bit of a higher highlight because this is the light direction. And here. And if there's a little highlight, it'll here maybe just be thinner and maybe a bit lower down, I think. Okay, from there it's always good you can actually help the depth of your drawing quite a bit, especially if you've got a rounding by darkening your shadow here. So you've got a bit more of a dark shadow close to your product, where it's deep, it's going underneath. There's really no light coming into it, and the outside of the shadow will have a bit more reflected light, and that helps give the effect of depth. Further, some nice effects are basically just adding details. So you know, some little plugs and that sort of thing. If we could do quickly just something simple. And you could use a white pencil and add little details like this. Yeah, okay, so that's basically the basis of doing